Hey guys, we're getting towards the end of math and we can't finish out the year without touching on double digit divisors in our division. That's a lot of D's. So remember that the divisor, as we learned earlier in the year, is this front part here. Think about divisor, it's kind of like the word razor. A divisor is used to cut things up just like a razor is used to cut things up. The divisor is going to be cutting up our dividend, this number right here, so that we can get our quotient. When you have a double-digit divisor, one of the easier ways to solve a division problem is using the guess and add method. And this method works pretty well because it doesn't matter if you get the exact right number, the exact right guess, or not. You just keep working on it until you're unable to take anything else away from the problem. And you'll see what I mean by that here in a minute. So we put a little line down the side of the problem like this, and over here is where we're going to put all our guesses. And over here we're going to do some subtraction to see where we're at. So we got 40 going into 2,240. So I want to know, how close can I get 40 to 2,000? Well, if I times this by 100, I would have 4,000. But I only want half that, right? I only want 2,000. Well, what's half of 100? Half of 100 is 50. So if I take 50 times 40, I'll get pretty close. So let's see here. I got two zeros, so I put my two zeros down. And then I take my 5 times my 4, which is 20. I subtract, and I have 240 left. Well, how close can 40 get to 240? Well, 40 times 10 would be 400, which is twice as much as what I need. So again, I maybe need to go half as big. So what's half of 10? Well, it's 5. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 4 is 20. So I subtract these off. I got 40 left. And what do you know? Look, I can go into 40 exactly one time. So these are all my guesses here. And again, I could have made any guesses I wanted to so long as I didn't get a number bigger than what I was trying to subtract. So as soon as I get down to my end, I take all my guesses, no matter how many there are, and I add them all up. So it's 0 plus 5 plus 1 is a 6, and 5 plus nothing is 5. My answer to this problem is 56. So that one worked out really nice. Sometimes you're going to have remainders. So let's take a look at one that has a remainder. Again, we start by making a line down this way to put our guesses on this side. We got 70 trying to go into 6,158. Well, if I take it times 100, I'll get 7,000, which is too big. So let's just kind of do what we did with the other, because again, it doesn't matter what my guesses are so long as they're smaller than what I'm trying to do, not bigger. So let's do what we did on the other one. Let's take it times 50. Now this won't get us very close, but it'll work. It'll work. We got two zeros, so we put our zeros down. We got 7 times 5, which is 35. We subtract, we got 8, 5, got to do some borrowing here, that's a 5 now, 1 becomes an 11, 11 minus 5 is 6, 5 minus 3 is 2, okay, so now I got 2,000 there. Well, I want to get to 2,000, if I took 70 times 10, I'd have 700, which is pretty close to 1,000, could kind of go double that, right? So maybe 70 times 20. So again, two zeros, I put those down first. 2 times 7 is 14. Do some subtraction. 8, 5, 2, and 1. Okay, I'm getting closer. Hey, this time I'm just going to go 10. So I got my two zeros down, and then 1 times 7 is 7. So subtract. And 12 minus 7 is a 5. Okay. I know that 10 won't cut it. 10's too big. So let's do half of that. Let's do 5. 5 times 0 is 0. I forgot to put that on there. Okay, 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 7, 35. Subtract off 8, 0, and 2. 208's left. Well, 5's going to be too big, right? Let's go with 2. 0, and then 2 times 7 is 14. Subtract. I'm going to move this up so you can see it. So I subtract. 8 minus 0 is 8. I got to do some borrowing. 10 minus 4 is 6. And those are going to cancel out. 68. Now look here. 68 is smaller than 70, right? So there's no way I'm going any bigger than that. So I know right away that, or that I'm going, there's no way I can multiply and get that. This is already smaller than what I'm starting with. So I know right away that this here is going to be my remainder. So I'm going to go up to the top of the problem here, and I'm going to put remainder 68 because I know I got that left over. Then I got to add up my guesses. So in the ones column here, I got a 5 and a 2, which is a 7. And in my tens, I got a 5, a 2, and a 1, which add up to 8. So 87, remainder 68. In your work today, you're going to also have some versions of this that use money. It's not a big difference. You just got to remember on the money, you're going to transfer your decimal sign straight up, and then it's still going to be the same as far as how you're going to deal with it. Luckily, the ones with money, they're going to come out even, should make it a little bit easier. So we're looking at 30 into 6,420. Notice that I treated that like it didn't have the decimal because I already put the decimal up there. So 30 into 6,420. 30 times 100 would be 3,000. So 30 times 200 is going to hopefully be about 6,000, right? I got 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3. And I got 2 times 3, which is 6. Do some subtraction. I'm left with 420. That almost looks like a 6. There we go. 420. Okay. Well, I can 30 times 10 is going to be 300. So let's do that one. 2 zeros there, a 3 there. Subtract out. 120. Not too bad, not too bad. 3 and 12. I know that one. I know 3 times 12, or I'm sorry, 3 times 4 is 12. So I wonder if 30 times 4 would give me 120. Makes sense, I think. 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 3 is 12. Looky there. And we got nothing left. So now I just got to add these up. I got in the farthest column over, I got a 4. Next column over, I got a 1. And my front column, I got a 2. And I got to remember it's money, so I got to put in my dollar sign. So $64.20 divided by 30 gives us $2.14 a piece. One final problem, some more money here. Okay, so we're going to put our guessing line here. Hopefully you're working these out with me. We're going to treat this like it's just one big number, and to do that we got to first transfer our decimal up here. So it's 50 into 16,050. Well, okay. So if I want to get to 16,000, well, man, if I take 50 times 100, that'll be 5,000. So let's just start simple. So I got 3 zeros, and 1 times 5, 5,000, subtract it off. Still have 50 over here. I got 0 there, and I got 11 there. Okay. All right, not too bad. Let's do that again. Okay, so minus 5,000. I don't know why I put that decimal in there. Forget about that. 0, 5 minus that is that. 11 minus 5 is 6. Well, I can do it again. Zero, 5, 0, 1. All right, so now it's getting a little tricky. 50 into 1,000. Well, if I take it times 10, I would have 500, right? So if I take it times 20, that should give me about 1,000. 0 and 0. 2 times 5 is 10. Subtract them off. And looky there. 50 left. Well, I can do that one time. So then I just got to add my things up. I take my ones column. I got a 1 in my ones column. Then my tens column, I got a 2 in my tens column. And then in my hundreds, I've got a 3. And I got to remember it's money, so I put a dollar sign. 321. So that's the guess and add method for doing double digit divisor division. If you need help with that, please make sure you're reaching out by my email or have your parents contact my cell phone. We can Zoom and work through some of these. They're a little complicated, but once you get the hang of it, they're not too bad. Hope you're having a good time and hanging in there. We'll talk with you later.